there's at least 2 I've seen so far that James Gunn surprised these YouTubers by inviting them to do interviews with him.
Oh my gosh.
Just so fucking cool.
James, we're here.
Yeah, I know.
I'll call out sick.
I saw Screen Crush where they got together with Eric Voss from New Rockstars, and then Boba Talks. Luke from Boba Talks did a whole interview with James.
Wow.
So cool. But James basically says, one of the coolest things he says is like, look, you guys, I love y'all's shows, and you guys actually give me ideas. The stuff, the feedback you give actually affects what I write in the future. So it's really cool to hear that.
I mean, I'm glad
he's so plugged in.
I'm glad his ears are open, and it's not about bending any creator to the will of the fans, but being aware of what people enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy, and things they would love to see. That's just smart, because there's, like he is admitting, there's good grist there to go off and create something that pleases him and pleases the folks who already love what is happening and want to see it continue. So yes, James, I promise, if you come on our podcast, I won't just keep pitching my Wildcat script at you. We can just chat. It'd be fun.
Couple of things that he dropped that are kind of interesting is that he said, because I think Ryan Airy specifically asked him, like, so was it intentional? Because I guess I didn't even pick up on that this might have been a mistake. So he said it's kind of implied in the Peacemaker finale that
all metahumans would go.
James goes, oh no, it's just
the villains, just like in Salvation Run.
And I was like, okay, cool. So that kind of shifts everything I thought might be happening in Man of Tomorrow. But he also said this also again. Because he goes, so does this mean we're going to get Darkseid and so?
I was a little disappointed by this.
James was like, whoa.
Yeah, he's like, it's not connected.
Don't get too excited. This isn't necessarily going to be what you
Salvation
think it
Run.
is.
It won't exactly be that story.
So it might not have anything to do with Darkseid. It still might be Brainiac in some way. So I'm kind of torn on that. It might just
be, like I said, a planet version of Dinosaur Island. I mean, maybe that's it.
Or maybe it is actually, Darkseid's training ground. But that's just not part of the story yet. Maybe this is leading, maybe that's happening way later,
Okay.
But who knows? Because my thought was, okay, well, obviously Superman and Lex Luthor are going to get shoved into Salvation and they're going to have to team up to get out. Maybe that's not what Man of Tomorrow is. Maybe it's something else. So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it works and they shove a bunch of supervillains in there, including Luthor. And maybe Salvation, that planet, becomes the genesis of literally like a Legion of Doom, where Luthor rises to the top and says, all right, guys, you want to go back to that world and take it over? You work with me.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole Legion of Doom.
That would be really cool.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If we have a Joker by that point, come on.
One of them asked him about, so what's the deal with why didn't we get a GR Robot going into the Nazi universe? And this does speak, because my theory was he's probably not done with the Nazi universe. And it sounds like, Jor-El. James Gunn has heard us. He's heard us and he's like, okay, I see you guys want this. And now it's coming. That he says, because he wrote all this stuff before.
Yes.
All this, he
didn't know that people would love the character that much.
He didn't know that GR Robot would be as popular as he is. So he's like, well, I'm working on it now. It's basically what he says.
Again, James, as long as you're listening to us, justice for Nina. I mean, I know that you needed that emotional beat, but you did that character dirty, man.
Yeah.
Bring her back somehow. It's comics. You can do it.
This all warms my heart, because he's kind of like street level with us in this way, that he's listening to us. He hears us, and he may not agree with us and everything, but he does care enough to listen to what we say.
I've said that before, and people do mistake that for like fanboying. I just think that he handles this part of it, as in, communicating with the fans and just the curious on a seemingly genuine, while having to be coy level. He does that better than anybody. Over at Marvel, Kevin Feige will occasionally, have little like, I'm doing a cryptic tweet to tell you something big is coming up. And the Russo brothers do the same thing a little bit. And it's like, oh, you're going to be blown away. But as far as like one-on-oneing, or as you say, showing up randomly on people's YouTube to like, go ahead, interview me, no one's doing it like that. So
no,
I respect it. I think that he really is that. He's the guy. He's the comic nerd that got to the top. And now he's like, hey guys, we're all in here and this is fun.
It's like grassroots
like
comic book.
Feels like
DCU is grassroots. I fucking love it.
And there's all these, I mean, he does plenty of Instagram posts or something where he's in his local comic shop. And that's something he hasn't stopped, even though he goes, I can't read as many comics as I used to because I'm too busy.
Yeah.
But he's like going, I'm always excited to go into a shop and find out what I've been missing out on.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I love that.
And this is why, like we talked about this in our final Peacemaker breakdown video, that we had some misgivings with some of the decisions made in that last episode. But I wasn't too worried about it because we already know what a great writer and storyteller he is. We know how overloaded he was when he was doing all these things at once. And we know that he listens.
And I also know that I feel I can trust that because it's not all about him, that he's lining up the best possible projects that come his way. And I think as a producer, he will also be, unlike, I'm not dissing the MCU, which is an accomplishment that will be written about for years to come because there was never anything like it. But I think that he's doing it right. As I've said before, he's waiting till the right thing comes together. And then he goes, yeah, I'm going to greenlight that. So I trust he's finding the right people, the right scripts to tackle the right characters, instead of saying corporate demands that I, put a Batman out tomorrow, instead of, he's like going, until the script's right, it's not going to happen. Good. It's like, yeah, it doesn't have to be a James Gunn like thing. Just make sure we get the best possible Wonder Woman. Make sure we get the best possible Flash and Green Lantern. Man, I can't wait for Lanterns.
I know. I can't wait for Lanterns. Cannot wait. That was one of the things they asked. I think it was Boba Talks asked him, was like, are we going to get a preview anytime soon? And James Gunn actually, he didn't know because he said, I think I've seen the last preview they put together, but I actually don't know the scheduling of it because it's HBO and he doesn't have much control over how HBO markets their shit. The films, he says that the films, he has much more control over the marketing of the films.
I would imagine, but all I can say is, sorry guys, when Lanterns comes out, we're going to be doing that.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I love talking Superman all day, all night, but occasionally we talk about other things.
Yes.
Which is why next week, instead of following this up, we will instead be talking about Thursday Night Murder Club, an adorable little cozy mystery that's on Netflix with Helen Mirren. You didn't think that was coming.
Yeah.
I'm just...
You're welcome.